Hello and welcome to this first impressions video for MLB The Show 2021. Whatever, who gives a shit? I'm talking about video games. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. It's out. It's out today on Xbox Series X, Xbox One, PS4, PS5. Sadly, not the PS Vita, of course. I've been playing MLB The Show 15 on the Vita to sort of wet my whistle for this game to come out. And here are my first impressions of it. First of all, it is an absolutely beautiful game. I've been playing it on the Series X, and it's kind of awesome to have a baseball game on the Xbox that doesn't suck. Sorry, RBI Baseball. But yeah, the last game that came out on the Xbox that was like a mainline baseball simulation was, I think, MLB 2K14, I want to say. But the show, I've always loved the show. I've always thought that the show was the premier sports title that you can get of all of them, NBA 2K, Madden, and all of that, because of the way that it does its changes to the game. So Madden stays relatively the same throughout an entire generation. You get a big update for the new games, and then it's kind of, and then franchise mode has been the same for 10 years, and I still buy it and play it because I love playing Madden. But the show is different. The show makes changes. They listen to the player base, and obviously this is the biggest change they've made yet, releasing on Xbox at the MLB's behest. But I haven't played the PS5 or the PS4 version, so I don't know if there's any differences in programming or anything. I wouldn't assume so, but I've been playing on the Series X, and it is absolutely beautiful. I play sports games a lot of the time for the franchise because everybody wants to be a GM. Me too. So I'll start off with the franchise mode. The franchise mode, it doesn't have the relatively big changes that you would want. But at this point in sports titles, what are you going to do with franchise mode? Really, you've got Stadium Creator. You can create your own team. You can pick a team. You can do fantasy draft. You can do a fantasy draft with the legends, which I don't recommend because there's a lot of them, and some of them take over spots for other players. So, like, you'll have a 22-year-old Bryce Harper instead of, I think he's 29 or 30 now. It's kind of weird, but I did it. I took Alfonso Soriano with my first pick because I want to see him swing the bat. But there's a lot of legends in the game, and if you love playing with legends and you love having them in your franchise modes, you've got them here. Outside of that, there's like small things that I've noticed that I really enjoy, actually. If you're simming games, the sims take no time at all. You can literally sim through an entire season to the World Series if you want to, if your team's good enough, in less than 5 minutes. Other than that, the Stadium Creator is exclusive to next-gen consoles, so if you don't have a Series X or a PS5, you're out of luck. For those people that really want to build something, I don't know, there's a stadium that's in the middle of a cornfield, like Field of Dreams, that's on the game. It's pretty sick. I was playing some games on that. It's actually kind of cool. But the Stadium Creator is really robust. I was messing around with it a little bit. I didn't dig super deep into it, obviously, just because the game came out today. But the Stadium Creator, pretty robust. You can probably recreate any stadium you want. I'm going to try to build there was a minor league baseball stadium I visited in Portland that is sort of underground, that is really old. I'll try to build that one maybe. But some of the fixes, well, not really necessarily fixes, but if you're playing on a next-gen console, the animations are smooth, the pitching animations are smooth. The whole presentation of the game is really, really smooth. And you'll notice that playing through. There's no, like, any glitches that I've noticed yet where, like if there's a close call or whatever, you check a swing and it cuts to the umpire either, calling it out or safe. Sometimes in other older games it would linger on that and actually get stuck. This one, I haven't noticed that yet in the couple hours, probably like 5 or 6 hours that I've played of the game. But outside of that, it's pretty similar with controls. You get a bunch of different control options also this year. You get the pitching meter, which I love using because it's just the easiest. You have analog control. You have zone control for hitting. You have the same thing. You have analog, zone, buttons, whatever you want. It goes all the way up to, the hardest difficulties or the easiest difficulties if you want to hand it to people. It is just the best game. If you haven't played a baseball game before, or if you're jumping back into baseball games, this is the one to do it with so far. The only criticism that I've always had for the show, that I will still have until they do it, is why would you have such a great control option like 2K had, where it was like Skate, where you had to do certain inputs with the analog stick to throw pitches or hit with the stick. Just the analog hitting in this game is just not very fluid in my opinion. I just like using the buttons better. 2K, the analog hitting, 2K had its problems. Let's not, get that mixed up. But the best thing about it was that control with the analog stick. It was the most fun thing. It made it so that every pitch felt interesting instead of just tap, tap, throw, tap, tap, throw. So if you like the meter, you like the meter. But I wish that they would add that sort of control to the game that was more fluid. The analog hitting is kind of eh. I don't like it. The analog pitching, at least, is a little different, to where you have to pull back for the wind up and then move it to the spot on the plate that you want to hit. And so it actually gives you sort of control over whether where you want to hit. So that's kind of nice. But just do the 2K controls. Why not? Why the hell not? Anyway. But just for the game, it looks beautiful in next gen. If you have Xbox Game Pass, it's free. Well, it's not free because you're paying $10 a month, but if you have Game Pass, download the game and see if you like it. It's there to download for you, and if you're playing on a PlayStation, you have to pay the full price. But this game, so far from what I've played, is worth that full price investment for fans of baseball games. If you're not a fan of baseball games, don't buy the goddamn thing. But if you don't have Game Pass and you're playing on Xbox, first of all, why don't you have Game Pass? Second of all, it is still worth that full price investment, in my opinion, so far from what I've played. Now, if you have any comments or questions, or you want to tell me anything, make sure you do that down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, do all of you want. We're on the road to 100 subscribers here. And if you like, all this other horror content you can see behind me, subscribe for that. We'll have more video game content. We'll have a full review of MLB 21 The Show up just as soon as I can play more of the goddamn game. But this is just a quick first impressions video about MLB The Show 21. Hope you like it. Thanks for watching.